NERDSoul.
Lay Ill Kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that StreetGeek and Nerd Soul. That's right. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Let's go, because we got, that's right, some more gaming content, some more gaming news, some more gaming talk. The FGC chat is popping, and we ain't by ourselves. Nah, nah, nah. We got uh FGC heavy hitter. Open mind. What's up?
NERDSoul family, what's up, FGC family? Can y'all hear me good? My mic good?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Man, it's been a crazy weekend, bro.
Yeah,
It's been a crazy
we're gonna
weekend.
get into your you've been having some you have had some Twitter experiences lately.
Oh yeah, I've been going, but I just listen. I've been going viral on Twitter, yeah, all weekend, multiple times, multiple topics. Man, it's crazy, bro.
Mm,
I am stirring up emotion on this doggone X app.
bruh. Okay, so for those who don't know what's been going on Twitter, because there's one tweet in specific that I want to talk about, but you've been going, through the motions on Twitter in FGC. What's been going on from your perspective?
From my perspective, and this was not my intention at all, by the way, because it's probably about 4 or 5 days old by the time this video drops. So none of this was my intention to get all of this attention, But I saw on the thread, and I think no, someone inboxed me. I want to say I can't think of the guy's name right now. One of my followers, on one of my gamer followers, somebody who followed me for gaming, inboxed me a screenshot of something King J said, right, and it
Hmm.
was something pertaining to the fact of FGC content creator, or there. I don't know how it was worded exactly, but it was alluding to the fact that there's not enough FGC content out here, and it's kind of stagnant and it's boring and so on and so forth. And it was in reference to a conversation he and I was already having in our inbox. Anyway, just between the two of us, this follower of mine,
Okay.
and it was a random inbox. He just hit me up to show it to me. By the time I seen it, I checked it out. I had a delayed response to him, and I responded to him, and then I decided to, say what I said to him in the thread. Right. So I just finally got away from my distractions of the day, working and life and stuff, and I just said, I don't remember how I worded it, but I remember saying something. I was alluding to the fact that most people don't post content or even bother editing content, because when they do post it, the people in their comment section or anybody that sees the video wants a whole background check on said individual. Are you a tournament player? Are you a pro player? How many tournaments have you won? Or, everybody's discrediting you. And this isn't. And when I was typing it, I wasn't speaking for myself, right? I post content, and my content gets support. I get clicks and views. I go viral constantly when I post. When I was saying those words, I was not necessarily talking about myself. I was just speaking on a collective of conversations that you and I have had, right? You and I have had plenty of podcasts about this, and other people that have come to, express their experiences in the comment section under these podcasts. This is that comment that I put in his original thread, right? Was
Okay.
me kind of summarizing, right, everything that a lot of people have, different people have said it over the years, over the time period. Why, this is daunting. It's like everybody wants me to be a pro player. Everybody's a hater. It's gatekeeping. It's biased. Everybody has their own personal reasons for why they don't make content, and it's not because they're not capable or that they're lazy. My point of reference, where I was, couldn't say all this in one tweet, but where I was coming from was, most people check out or just lose interest because if all they got to deal with is trolls constantly when they post, a troll or a hater or someone who's not supporting them, right?
Hmm.
You can't expect these humans because you're a human being, and that's mentally taxing on you. If every time you put out something positive and hey, look at this fight video for whatever game you're playing, everybody that comes to the video, there's more trolls than there are supportive people, and it kind of makes people check out, right? So that's kind of where I was coming from. And then his response to that, he didn't respond to me. He took what I said because I said, what I can't remember the word, but he kind of quoted my words, made a new tweet, and didn't tag me. And then his whole thread was to shame me for what I said, and I didn't
Yeah,
understand.
either you or people like you.
Right, but he took my specific words though. So even if
Yeah,
it represents people like me, it was me that said the words that he took in that tweet, made a new tweet about and quoted because he quoted it. He just didn't tag me.
yeah,
So, but I was the one who tagged him and said those words. So there's nobody else in that thread that said those words with me. Even if everybody agrees or saw or kind of had the same mind frame as me, I was thinking, why did he go so far as to make a new tweet and to quote me? None of that made sense. All that just looked like shade to me, and it didn't help his
yeah.
case because Justin Wong, Rufo Monger, Maximilian, and other names jumped on the same. Brian F. jumped on that thread where he quoted me to continue to correct him and show him how he's wrong at.
Well, I'm before I jump in, I remember the tweet that you originally said because I think I retweeted it actually. Um,
Yeah, because I can't
because
remember what I said word for word. It's been about
because
4 or 5
I
days.
was basically on the same feeling of like, yeah, there's people that do content for the FGC, but
Yeah,
in
powerful.
general, uh, unless it's some kind of toxic, content, most time people ain't gonna watch it or want to watch it, or
Hmm.
it's either got to be toxic in some type of way,
Hmm.
or
You got to be a pro player
you got to be a pro player or
who's won.
someone who's like semi-pro, something like that. And
Yep.
because I retweeted, basically King J said there's a big hole in FGC content. Interview with players, how do they train? Um, asking about future titles. Can you see them playing other games, fighting, podcasts, reactions, so on and so forth. He said, you don't have to be the best at a game to be successful in FGC. You just need to think outside the box. Okay, so he said that. And then you said, but that's just it though, King. If you're not a pro player or God ranked player, your comment section will be full of trolls and you won't get the growth you want, spending countless hours editing good content, all for it to be biased away by toxic FGC. Many of us don't even bother.
And I
And
wasn't talking
I've,
about myself when I said that, by the way. I wasn't referring to me specifically, my experiences. Because
yeah,
if you check my media section, I get all types of love. I was only speaking on behalf of a lot of people who have already said these words on many podcasts. Plus, you and myself have already
yeah.
talked about
Because I
this
mean,
in
trolls have come for you
multiple
before.
podcasts.
I've seen trolls come for you
Right,
before. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
that's basically what I saw where I came in. And
Yeah.
then this is the tweet that King J comes with after that. He says, for the people that said, oh, before we go any further, I don't know King J. I ain't got nothing against King J. This is just what about what he said. I don't know
Neither do I.
if he your brother, your best friend, your husband or something. There ain't nobody coming for him personally. I don't like. This is just an example of what's in the FGC. So it's just an example of what he's saying. I don't care. But he says, for the people that said, quote, I have done this content and I got ignored, or quote, I have done it but I don't get views, I'm going to be completely real with you and tell you you didn't try hard enough, or simple fact, you have not tried hard enough to put yourself out there. Fighting game content is extremely exhausting, and no, I'm not tweeting this from a $1 billion mansion, but you can make it work as I do as a full-time I guess full-time gamer, I guess, because he left out a word, but auto type be tripping. So
Yeah, but we don't
and
trip
had
on
to
that. Like I
grind
don't.
super hard. Oh, say it again, sorry.
No, I would just say I don't trip on people's typos.
Yeah.
Because I know that Twitter
Well, no,
doesn't
since
have
there's a
edit
word,
button.
it seems to be a word missing. I'm trying to like fill in what he might have been saying.
Yeah.
So I think he said do this as a full-time gamer and had to grind super hard for it with certain obstacles against me. You can do it as well. Now, I'm sure we've all heard this before, but it does
constantly attack this whole.
but then to come down this sort of down this road. Because I'm sure we've all heard this before, and it's in the same vein. I mean, this is American culture. It's in the same vein of you're poor because you don't feel like being rich. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's not what
you don't want to be rich enough. You know what I'm saying? It's in that same energy. You know, like this idea that only people that are successful work hard is something that we need to get out of our minds. It's not true.
Completely disconnected. It's disingenuous. It's dismissive. It's a lot of different. It's a lot of bad and not a lot of good in that statement. That's what I'm saying. Not the statement, but the mentality. The mentality.
Yeah,
there's a lot of bad and no good in that mentality.
It's the branch of that kind of like 1% entrepreneurial hustle mindset of like, oh well, you know, you're broke because you just don't want it. You know, you don't want it bad enough. Or you know, you're not shining because you don't work hard enough. There's tons of content creators out there that work hard, but
mind you, by the way, I'm gonna let you finish. Rufo Munger, Brian F, Maximilian, Justin Wong, all in their own way said what you just said under his post. So he was just dismissing them too. I said what I said. He was very dismissive to people who, what you be about to finish too.
Well, I mean, when you're loud and wrong, you're usually dismissive.
Right. So just letting you know. Just go ahead and finish. Please let you know. They all already told him that.
Yeah, it's this weird thing that people do. Yeah, because I'm not talking to King J. I mean, it's clear that he's just not there. Right. He don't want to listen, and I don't even really care to speak to him. This is for a couple of people that might listen, who might be like, hey, I wonder if I'm not winning because I'm just not working hard enough. It's like, no, you're working hard. Like there's an algorithm that it's already been tested that algorithms are tailored to certain interests, tailored to certain races, so when you're out there, like there's been articles written how the algorithm favors white people over black people. It's already been done. It's been done in YouTube. It's been done in TikTok. All these tests have already been done. Where the lighter your skin is, the algorithm works more on sharing your content. There's been articles written out of this. Google it yourself. So this idea that oh, you just work hard and like build it and they will come. It's not true. It's just not true. And then what's going to happen is you're going to end up burning people out, because they're going to think that they're not good enough or that they're somehow not working hard enough, and they're actually working hard. They're working themselves to the bone. But they think that because they haven't become what American society deems as successful, then that they're some kind of like slouch, or they're slacking on their pimping. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not true. There's tons of content creators that work hard. They edit. They write scripts, or they try to find the perfect clip or the perfect music or the perfect reference. And, they do all this stuff and they spend all this time to put out this video. And then what happens is, like you said, people come in, they'll troll it. Or a big thing is, if people come to your video, or if people hover over your video and they see that it doesn't have a lot of views, they won't watch it. Because people want to see what everyone else is seeing. Now, I know you're going to say, that's not true. You know what I'm saying? There's all these people like Taylor Swift or French Montana that, they work hard. Well, actually, no, they don't. They got caught buying views just like a whole bunch of other people. So this idea that when you look at these videos and you're like, oh man, 2 million views, 3 million views, it's not always real, man. Some of that stuff is fantasy. And I mean, this is no shade to them. It's just that this is the world we live in. You have to buy those things. You got to buy those views, or you got to, you got to buy those shares or whatever to get seen. Because the way the algorithm works, in many cases, it'll work against you depending on your content or your background or the tags and stuff. And of course, with YouTube,
pay to play.
Yeah, it's a very pay to play system. So that's just to get started. But then also we have to add in the whole fact of like what is, are you considered handsome or pretty? Are you, there's all these things that go into it where it's like, come on, bruh. Or if there's been people to come to my videos like, this isn't even in 104. I'm like bruh, like really?
Yeah, but they ain't saw your TikTok page. Your TikTok page is killing your YouTube page. It's like, yo,
Well,
like,
true.
If you're judging me on my views, if that's what we're doing, if we're gonna just, if we're not gonna go about the quality of the content, we're just gonna look at numbers. Well, then go to NERDSoul's TikTok page. He killing. He getting 1,000 short
So
clips is doing 1,000. So if we're just gonna play that game, you know what I'm saying? We can play big bank tank little bank as far as views is concerned, because Nerd is not struggling in the view category.
so of course he edited between a little bit, but he then said, I'm willing to jump on a call with 10 other content creators smaller than 10K on YouTube and have a conversation with you on my stream tonight. DM me if you're down. So then after saying this, it's like this weird situation of like, okay, hey, I disrespected you if you're smaller, basically saying, hey, it's your fault. Now come to me and talk to me so I can tell you why it's your fault. And why you're
I
not
didn't even respond. I'm gonna be honest with you. I saw the thread and I didn't even comment on that thread when I saw that he made a new one. I didn't even come under the thread and make my presence known because he didn't tag me. Because when I spoke to King J, I tagged King J. I tagged him.
So I want to give a shout out to Soless Soul. Soless Soul comes through and says, saying this feels disingenuous and so overly simplified that it honestly tells us nothing. Now, this isn't meant to be said disrespectfully, as I respect your input and everyone's input here, but just, quote, trying harder isn't going to help, or in my opinion, doesn't provide real feedback. If we want to help and truly improve the space, then what exactly is trying harder or hard enough? Speaking from my own experience, I stay up countless nights working on short form, long form, improving thumbnails, amplifying my bare minimum to be better than the majority of people bigger than me. So to someone like that, what does trying harder mean? And he goes further, and I'll cover that later, but I wanted to say one thing and then I'll throw the mic back to you. That's another thing. Don't act like larger creators don't steal from smaller creators all the time. I've said it once. I'll say it again. Larger creators have stolen from me in the gaming space and in the nerd/geek space.
They steal from me constantly.
So what'll happen is you'll get something and you'll get a little bit of steam, but since in most cases, when you look at these people that are real big, most of the time there's some form of corporate money behind them. That's something they won't tell you. Oh, can you work harder for that? So anyway, they'll steal your idea, and since you don't have 2-3 people working for you, you're not going to be able to outproduce them. So what'll happen is they'll take your cool idea that you did maybe one video on or one short form piece on, and you're like, man, I can only do one, but I'll do maybe 2 next week. Well, they'll steal that idea and do 5 of those this week, and then people will be thinking that you steal it from them.
Because they know everything is timestamped, by the way.
Because these larger creators will farm content on YouTube. It's free. They have people that literally just farm content, just watch stuff. Oh, this is cool. Take your idea, do a whole new video. You know what I'm saying? Turn it to the side a little bit and pretend like it's brand new.
And that's the thing about stealing. If we're gonna let's be overly anal, right? Because I don't owe King J or this mentality in the FGC any type of grace, right? Because if you're gonna not give me any grace, I don't have to give you any. So let's be extremely anal. King J stole this whole conversation from me. He just didn't. He made a whole new post, put my words in quotes, and he got all this engagement, all these views, and all this stuff off of just me. One person, thousands of people commenting on this thing, thousands of views, clicks and shares and relikes and retweets. There's thousands of different opinions. Justin Wong said stuff, Rupelmonger said stuff, Brian F said stuff. But the individual who he wanted to steal from was me. because he saw my page and saw that I didn't have that many subscribers. Or
Yep.
what is he gonna do to me? So he took my idea, or he took my not my idea. He took my words and
Didn't
blew.
give you no credit, no
Didn't give me
nothing.
no credit. Didn't tag me and say that I'm the one who said it. But everybody knew I said it because everybody's on the post telling him. A few people are telling him how I was right. Not everybody, but a few here and there. Because I did look at the post. I just didn't comment on that thread. Because like the thread I commented on was his original thread. He made a new thread here with my words. So in seeing it, I'm just thinking like, so he's just gonna disrespect me all the way out here in public. And I'm just like, so, but the thing that I said is what you're doing in action. Is what we're kind of accusing the you guys, you pro players, you famous players, whatever you want to put your categorize yourself. What we're accusing you of is what King J just did. The thing that you're trying to defend, you're kind of
Hmm.
like digging yourself into a deeper hole by trying to defend it, and you're proving me right by trying to defend it. What am I mean? The bias, the clicky gatekeepy mindset. Are
And
you a
matter of
part
fact,
of my clique?
who's the other young brother that was talking about FGC clicks just like a couple months ago?
Emery Rain said it.
Emery
Emery Rain,
Rain.
who
Yes,
is
Emery Rain
also
was talking
Emery
about it.
Rain's got 50,000 subscribers. Now tell him he wrong. Emery Rain's got 50K blue check subscribers before the blue check was a charge. Emery Rains was blue check. Emery Rains was blue check before Elon Musk started charging you for a blue check. So his blue check is authentic. He grandfathered in. And he said it. He said it that y'all pro players, y'all real clicky and gatekeepy and biased and funny acting and all of that stuff, and y'all goofy and corny and everything else, and y'all take these video game stuff too seriously. You take your button mashing skills too seriously, so much so that you prevent other people from getting any type of shine or any type of exposure if they themselves are not part of the clique. He said that.
And then sit back and act like y'all aren't the mean girls of this.
Right.
Like that's the only thing. My thing is like own it. Own the fact
Own
that
it.
you're like, hey,
Always
I'm
say
important, you're not. Own it. Don't sit back and act like don't sit back and put up this post like you really care about. Man,
it. Like you said
I
about the
need
FGC
FGC
growers. You
content
don't
to
care.
grow.
You don't care. Here's the thing. When I said the things I was saying before he made his new post, like I said again, any of my followers who follow me and saw this thread and thinking I'm ungrateful, I'm not by no means. I love all of y'all who rock with me and reshare my stuff and compliment me on my fight videos because all of my stuff is for in the spirit of funny and dope content. I'm not trying to be the best in the world. I ain't trying to prove I can beat everybody or I'm the best at everybody. Nah, that ain't what it is. I thought I had a dope fight with this individual. I clipped it. I put some hip hop on it, and I wanted y'all to see it. That's it. That is the extent of every fight video I put out. There's no outside of if I, emphasize it, right? If I emphasize specifically this video is for this reason, my intent overall is to be fun, is to be silly. I did something silly in this fight. I clipped it and I want the world to see it. And I'll put some hip hop music on it. The person I'm fighting, there's no personal vendetta against said person. You know what I'm saying? I don't even remember these dudes' names. I'm not even looking at their account names when I'm fighting them half the time. And like I said, outside of me, a specific emphasis on an individual who I need to make an example out of, I'll indicate that in the video. But for the most part, my content is fun, 100% fun, and I get support. I can't say I don't get support. That people don't click my and I don't get no views, and people think my content is whack. No, I'm not saying that about myself, but I can speak for people who are struggling in the content area. They got a dope fight video, but their video got 13 views on it. They don't know
Yep.
how to work the algorithm. A lot of things is understanding the algorithm. A lot of people don't understand how to work the algorithm,
Well,
but they
also
is
the
master rank on the
algorithm,
game.
we don't have a true understanding of it. And then
Nobody really
it's
does.
always changing due to
It's
machine
always
learning
changing.
or whatever Google wants to do.
And the thing is, the average person isn't that tech savvy that they understand fully how algorithms work, but they're very, very good at putting these combos together. They're very, very
Hmm.
good at editing videos. They're very, very good at putting graphics and emojis and words and transitions and just really making their video look really, really nice to look at, right? Whatever is rock music, rap music, or just video game corny music or no music, whatever the production looks like on said video. A lot of people are very creative, but when they upload and press the upload button, the video sits in the algorithm hell, not getting any movement or traction because they didn't hashtag it right. A
Yeah.
simple, simply, just simply
Or let's keep it
understanding
real,
that.
because Maximilian didn't give them a shout out, or
Right.
because
A
someone didn't
myriad of
co-sign
reasons.
for them,
A
then they're not
myriad of
worth
reasons.
watching because they ain't nobody.
And one last thing I want to say on Pass the Mic. It was pertaining to something you said about paying to play and how a lot of these guys got corporate backing and they buy views. I love the fact that when I put out a clip, whatever views I get is 130% organic me. I'm not paying for views. I'm not paying for some machine to just promote my clip for me. I'm savvy with my hashtags. I know what I want. I know what audience I want to see said video that I'm posting. So I'll hashtag the video accordingly. I'm not expecting my video to see a million views when I post whatever clip I post, but I need enough engagement past 100. Anything past 200 for me, I think I'm doing great because I'm organic. It's all my own ingenuity, my own creativity, and my own craftiness with how I hashtag it, and just my creativity with the production.
I
That's it.
mean, you and I,
That's all. Go ahead.
behind the scenes, we, with the little bit of views I be getting,
Yeah,
we have realized that there's people watching us. And see, that's another thing. There may,
it's
this
who
is how
watching.
I know larger people, besides my stuff being stolen, we've been told there's people in high places that are watching us,
Yes, they're
and
watching
you
my
just don't
fight
know
videos,
because
and
they don't say, you know what I'm saying, it's rare that they're gonna, call you or something and be like, hey, I'm watching your
right.
stuff.
And listen, here's the thing about people in higher ups, right? Let's touch on that right real quick before we move on. People in the higher ups of spaces that they're in higher up spaces of are people, and they like to watch TV and content too. Just like you sit on your phone and scroll and doom scroll whatever app you're on, rich people or people in power or people who have influence are also people who get off work, right, and are not at work and are doing something that's leisure, whatever leisure looks like for them, and they're probably watching clips and laughing to themselves, joking to themselves. They're not necessarily trying to invest in you. They're not necessarily trying to recruit you or hire you. They're just a fan. That's I think I need us to wrap our minds around the fact that a fan isn't always a poor person who doesn't have any money
Hmm.
and is brainwashed by commercials, whatever commercial says to be brainwashed by. No, higher up people are also human beings who like to have fun and like to have leisure and like to kick back and do nothing sometimes. Just doing nothing all day. This is my day off. I'm not on no business phone call. I'm not investing anything. I'm not doing any work. I'm doing nothing but fun stuff today, whatever that is for them. And they clicked on a podcast and they're watching said podcast. And they click like and they shared it with their other rich friends, right? It's not necessarily a plug. It's just a fan or a listener. And that's okay for you to have that. For those higher ups to reach out to you and say, "Hey, I liked your video, man. Hey, by the way, I'm an executive and at such and such, such and such. I just like your video. You guys doing some good stuff. Great work. Keep up the good work, man. You guys good. I'm a fan." That's also good. Just because they don't extend you an olive branch to their company or to invest in your podcast doesn't make them bad. Let them also just be a subscriber and be a fan. You
Hmm.
see what I'm saying? Like everything doesn't have to be an opportunity. We don't have to have the opportunistic mindset. See, we got higher ups watching us. Ha ha ha. See, hope they like me. So they can pick me up. No, if they like us and they pick us up, fine, right? I'm okay with that as well. But that's not the intent. The intent isn't to do the podcast or click or post the video in hopes that someone higher up notices me and pulls me up and throws me a bone. But if they happen to see my video and they like it, that's just as much a fan as anybody else. So if they liked it and their opinion is just as valuable as anybody else's, I'm also okay with that. There's not a, in other words, that's not to say that people in higher spaces have noticed it or noticed you doesn't make them obligated to invest in you. You feel me? But go ahead, pass the mic.
So to finish up Soless Soul's response, he continues saying, this isn't just an answer for myself, but even people not in the same situation as me. I feel my content is slowly becoming appreciated, but there are so many talented people out there that work hard at this and don't see the light of day of support. I'm gonna come back to that in a second. So if we want different content, if we want actual change in the content space of the FGC, we need more than just to tell people to work hard to transform the space. We need to work smarter to figure out, why does this work? Why doesn't it work? What can we do to present these things that people say they want but don't seem to support? There's a bigger task at hand. So he talks about not seeing the light of day of support. I believe that connects directly to the end of his statement, where he says the things that people say they want but don't seem to support, because they're lying.
They're lying.
People are lying.
Because think about it.
People
think about it,
are full of it. King J, I'm gonna go back real quick to what King J was talking about. In his first tweet that you came across and commented on, where he's talking about, like, hey, why is the FGC space, why is it this, why isn't it that, why don't we have interviews, why don't, because he says there's a big hole in FGC content. He says interview with players, asking about future titles, can you see them play other games, fighting game podcasts, reactions, review trailers, blog site for FGC content creators or news. There's so much that could be done, and someone can fill that space. You're right. Guess what? We're doing it right now. We've been doing it. For what, you and I have been doing this for like a year or two?
Maybe, bro, it's been about 3 years.
Oh wow, okay, yeah, okay. It just seems so short, but anyway,
like 2019 almost.
We've been doing this for 2-3 years, right? And we ain't the only ones. Here's the thing, y'all don't watch it. You know what y'all will watch? Y'all will watch the drama on Button Check.
Yep. And not to hate on Button Check, because we like Ernesto. We don't hate on him.
Let's keep it real. Oh, and we like Ernesto because a couple of players have been on his show, so they've co-signed him. So now, since they like him, it's okay for us to like him too. Right. And I don't have nothing against Ernesto, Button Check, or none of them people. I'm just calling it out for what it is. Y'all full of it. Now, I don't mind y'all being full of it. Just don't try to sell it to me, bruh. Don't act like y'all want to see other content, because y'all don't. What y'all want to see is LTG rants. You want to see FGC drama, and you want to see someone talk about how scrubby someone is and how free someone is. That's all y'all want to see. Because if you, or who rage quit. Because if y'all wanted to see other stuff, y'all do it. Grown people, you can't force grown people to do nothing. They do what they want. So these people, if they wanted to see something else, they would. You full of it. Stop it. Also, to the player side, real quick, and I'll kick the mic.
Go ahead.
I've reached out to numerous players for interviews, real interviews, not no fluff stuff. Real interviews about what's going on with you, your life, all that stuff. Guess what happens? No response, because pro players, they probably don't either. They big timey. They probably go in like, oh, he ain't got enough followers or whatever it is, but they don't respond. So don't come out here talking about players need to be interviewed. No, players need to respond when somebody reaches out to them. So don't be coming up in here. Look, you can't sell that here, bro. It ain't gonna work here. Maybe this might work on your little followers, but it don't work over here. We too smart for that. And see, that's another thing. Another big issue is a lot of these cats is young-minded. Not saying they're young, because a lot of these cats pretend to be young and they're not. They're young-minded.
Yep.
Like, don't look, y'all might be fooling these young-minded cats out here, whether like literally young or just young-minded. Y'all might be fooling them. You ain't fooling me, bro. Nah. Cause come on, man. Come come on, y'all can stop. Y'all can stop the full cap. Y'all don't want to see nothing but what I just displayed or what I just illustrated right now. But go ahead.
Fam, I want to cook King J for one last time. This is the final. This is the final cooking. Like I'm talking about, like sizzling in the oven, the bacon almost done. I'm about to cook King J for one.
All right, cool.
He took this whole thread, and this is why I'm about to cook him. I want y'all listen to me very carefully. Very careful. I want y'all to listen. When I originally said what I said, I had posted a clip right afterwards. This was before I saw him do the new post. I said what I said about, people not posting their content and people not wanting to do it, feeling put off because of trolls. I said what I said. And right after that, I was already editing a video anyway. That's what I was doing. I was editing a video when the guy inboxed me that conversation about King J. So since I was already editing the video at the time and I commented what I commented, I went back to my video, put the finishing touches on it, and I uploaded it. Didn't tag King J, but I did post a video kind of maybe 30 minutes ish after my comment. So it was kind of in the same time frame. Now, this was before I saw the King J make his new post with my quotes. He did all of this. He said all this rant and arguing back and forth with everybody about how ain't nobody trying hard enough. And how he, like I said, he offered to, call in his show and let's talk about why you ain't blah, blah, blah and everything, right? If you can quote my words, King J, and I hope you're listening to this, you can take the words I said and put them in quotes. That means you had to go to my page and read it. You could have took that video I posted where I was fighting Ken, E Honda versus Ken at the time. E Honda bullies Ken. You could have just retweeted that joint and it could have got a lot of views and engagement as an example of, see, I'm a pro player and I really want the FGC to grow. Here's an example. Let me retweet this guy's point. Let me prove this guy wrong who said that y'all don't support us and everybody's a troll. He could have proved me wrong by retweeting my video of Honda versus Ken. It's in my media section on my Twitter page because it was posted in the same time frame as the original conversation. You could have proved me wrong in that moment by retweeting my clip, my FGC content video. But no, that's not what you did, King J. What you did was you wanted to shade me. You wanted to make me look bad. You wanted to SHIT on me in public. So you took my words, made a new post, and tried to just completely just destroy me. Is what you thought you tried to do. But all you did was prove me right. And I've put out yet another video dedicated to you. It's on my page right now. It's on my media section. The words on the screen are all dedicated to King J. And the question in the video is this trying hard enough for you? Because I don't really personally need my video game content to grow. I don't have a need for that, right? I'm not complaining about nobody's watching my fight videos. That's not a complaint I have, right? I actually feel bad when I go too many days without posting the clip because I know I have people who follow me specifically to watch my fight videos. They could care less what I'm tweeting about. They can care less what I'm ranting about. They just want to see my latest fight video. And I know that I have those followers on my page, but I'm busy. I have a life. So when I have time to edit a fight video, I'll edit one and put it out and give my followers who like that type of stuff the video, because all they're going to do is retweet it and repost it for me, and they're going to make it grow for me. All I got to do is give the video to my little followers, and they'll do the work for me because they want to see it. They want their friends to see it because they're a fan of me, even though I'm not a pro player and I'm not super high proud with it. I do have a fan base. They talk to me all the time. They inbox me all the time, and they compliment me on my fights. So I would be lying if I said I personally don't get support. Yes, I get trolled, but I don't pay as much attention to the trolls as I do. I pay more attention to my supporters. My supporters tell me that I'm being trolled. They'll show me a screenshot of somebody trolling me. I don't see it because I'm not looking for it. I'm looking for my supporters, and I always find them. But when I say the things I say, you can't always apply it to me just because you see me typing or you've read me typing. In other words, if you have a toxic mentality already, you already dismissing me when you read the
Yeah,
sentence.
it don't matter.
You dismissed me before you read my sentence because you were looking at something else. You didn't.
Do you know how many people see a tweet and the immediate thing they do is check to see how many followers you got?
Yeah. Before they give what you said credence or any
Like,
type of relevance.
no blue check. How many followers you got?
And
Oh,
that's
all right.
all we're saying at the
Now
end
I
of the
can
day
step all over.
is that there is no such thing as trying hard, and there's no such thing as what picture y'all painting. It's a specific set of things that apply to a set of people. It's pay to play. It's very clicky. It's very gatekeepy, and very biased for a
Now,
specific type of person.
Also,
And if
I
you're
want
not,
to.
go ahead.
No, finish your thought. My bad.
No, I'm finished. Go ahead.
All right, so I also want to hit another tweet that's in this joint that I think is extremely funny. This Jurgens Toledo says most people just don't have the it factor and just not entertaining people. Being good at something doesn't inherently make one entertaining. If you don't stop the cap, do you know how many people are straight up not entertaining but have tons of followers, backing, Patreon money, all kinds of stuff? Stop this it factor. I also love when people bring up the it factor because the it factor is this vague, intangible, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, well, you got to have the it factor. Well, what is it? What is the it factor?
In fact, there is just another word for worshiping people who have more than you.
Thank you.
That's
This idea that and I'm not here to call out names, so I'm not going to call out names. But I remember there was a tweet that you shared with me, and I can't remember. It might have been Emery Reigns. I can't remember who it was. But someone was like, a whole bunch of y'all are boring. But here's the thing: they be boring with all the followers, be. But I thought they ain't got no it factor though. They ain't got no it factor. But all of a sudden, here they come with all the followers. So
Sam, I
what
can
is
name
this?
names, and
It's
I don't want to create no more
full
enemies.
cap from top to bottom. This whole it factor thing, y'all can stop that. Stop it. Just say that, hey, this person brings up tea and drama, and since they bring up tea and drama, and I want to see tea and drama, that's the it factor for me. But anyway, go ahead.
I mean, it's like this, bro. The FGC is biased. The FGC is gatekeeping. The FGC is very clicky, and the FGC is very funny acting and disconnected from reality. Very delusional. And the FGC is full of degenerate people, right? So
chock full.
So with that said, you have a competitive scene, and this isn't just the FGC. The Madden community is toxic. NBA 2K community is toxic. Call of Duty community is toxic. Smash community is toxic. Any video game community has a competitive scene where you're competing with other humans. There's some toxicity there because the game itself has a mechanism in place that measures your individual skill and ability to do whatever the game's difficulty setting gives you. Whatever situation the game gives you in question, your ability to overcome those situations flawlessly or with the least amount of mistakes possible, the game is grading you. And you're constantly being graded constantly. So when that information is public, people get to judge you based off whatever the game says your rank is or your skill. And that then creates an egomaniac inside of you that says this game is trash, right? This game is trash. The game is only recording the amount of times you press the button and when you don't press the button. That's all it's doing. That's all. The game doesn't have a personality that says it doesn't like you, it does like you. The game is algorithmic, just like that very algorithm that you type in your social media box for. It's designed to pick up on your patterns, your personal individual patterns. And it's skill is the word we use, but it's really not skill. It's just a profile. When you log into this game, you press the button like this. So the game recognizes that it's you in the game. It doesn't know your name, it doesn't know your life story. It knows that you press buttons this way, in this sequence, this often, and it's collecting this data on you, and it says you're master ranked according to this game's level of difficulty. Does it make you a master in real life? No, it just means you're done what the game asks you to do. That's all it does. That's all it is. Doesn't make you better than the next person. Doesn't mean you have the it factor. Doesn't mean none of these things that the FGC game community want to say. Because everybody's an egomaniac. It's a competitive scene. But if we can recognize all of these truths, because it's not one, it's many truths, we can all take a step back and be positive towards one another, share a few videos here and there. And even if we're in the moment toxic, like I'm in a fight with you and we talking trash back and forth to each other, I got you, we about to get down, I got you in that corner, and we talking, that's okay in the fight. But when that fight's over, the fight that you're at, Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Dragon Ball, whatever the fighting game you're playing, you two should be able to have a conversation. That fight that y'all had on that video game should not determine going forward whether or not you and said individual are going to have an interaction. And I want to segue into modern controls. There are still people you, NERDSoul, have not heard from because you choose to play on modern controls on Street Fighter 6. And because of that decision, you have lost friends. That is toxic.
Oh, yeah.
That is not okay. And I'm saying it on a public mic. I'm saying it on a public mic, and I don't care if he hear it and feel some type of way about it. I feel some type of way about the fact that you're judging a person based off their control scheme. So much so, another black man that we're talking about here, you would turn your back on another black man because he's playing on modern controls.
Well, no, that further illustrates how much.
And I don't like that by not one bit. I actually, and I'm gonna pass the mic and you can have it. I'm still not gonna say the name because I'm really ain't for the drama. I'm just gonna say this. That is whack. And I don't care how strongly y'all feel in the FGC about modern controls versus classic controls, right? We're not gonna participate in FGC content creation if y'all can't get past this control scheme stuff, constantly making it an issue or topic of conversation. So much so that you have unfollowed each other, you won't interview each other, and you won't support each other's video clips or content because this person is using classic versus modern on Street Fighter 6. Passing the mic.
The modern control situation is a perfect example of what people say they want, but then do the opposite.
Right.
So for instance, people say that Street Fighter is getting old. We're tired of Street Fighter 5. We want something new, do something different, this, that, and the third. Also, you have a group of people that are able to get a leverless controller that is behind a paywall because financially having what most people would consider a hitbox. Now, of course, there's cheaper options, but none of them are as cheap as a regular pad controller. So it's fiscally or financially prohibitive. But all the people that could get it, because it was a flex to get one, everyone that could get it, which made everything easier to do in the game, like modern controls does, when they had the upper hand, it was all to the good.
Not everybody has that upper hand.
Then Street Fighter said, yo man, look, hitbox ain't going away, leverless controllers ain't going away, and these regular stick players or pad players actually do have a valid axe to grind. When it comes to leverless controls, we have to give them something to help level the playing field. So they come out with modern controls. Now, modern controls essentially has already existed in games like Dragon Ball Fighters, or Fighter Z, Fighter Z, whatever you want to say, or something like Guilty Gear. Now, it comes into Street Fighter, all of a sudden, here come all these purists. Oh, because it's about gatekeeping. So now, here we go with the people, and I'm gonna circle this back around to the support and what they say they want.
Full circle. Go ahead.
So here they come saying, "Oh, you got modern controls. You a scrub."
Right.
You ain't good if you got modern controls. The game is so easy. Now, first of all, Street Fighter 6 was already easy. People don't had the game for 2 days, but they said it was so easy. The game is so easy. Oh, and you got modern controls. Oh, you a scrub. But consistently, we see people come back from Evo talking about how modern controls is a real thing. Because they went to Evo
and won money with that modern control.
Because people went to Evo and found out that there was some folks that didn't care about your little gatekeeping and all that stuff and your pressure about classic controls.
They beat you using modern while you was on classic, and they took home money. Not the 400,000 cash prize, but they took home some of them 50,000 and some of them 30,000. And some of them look 20,000 cash prizes, which is still a lot of money for somebody who ain't got 20,000, 30 or 40.
So for these people that were making content about how modern controls was horrible, and also making putting up memes and stuff and gifs, when I said I would play modern controls, I'm going to play modern controls, all of a sudden these people are now making videos talking about, I want to try modern controls. Now, when the backlash comes, because remember, this is what people say they wanted. They wanted Street Fighter to do something new, and they did. They gave you this open world kind of thing. They gave you modern controls. They gave you the little arcade section. They gave you all this stuff. Now all of a sudden you don't want nothing new. Now you want the old game again. Same thing with Mortal Kombat. Oh, Mortal Kombat 11 was better. Oh no, MKX was better. Oh, MK9 was better. So now this certain individual is literally shamed by this same community that already watching his videos and watching his streams, is shamed into going back to classic controls. So this support that this person had was very dependent upon what they wanted in their gatekeeping way. So once again, you ask, why did I go all the way around the block to get to here? Glad you asked. Well, see, they said they wanted something new. And when they got something new, they shamed everybody who used it. Even the creators that was trying to make new content that you, King J, asked for through the new stuff, aka modern controls. They shamed this person back into the classic controls. So just like the new content for the podcast and the interviews and this and that, they don't want to see it. It's full.
So what did I say? What did I say originally? People don't want to do it because they're getting trolled and dismissed and ignored.
Yep. So you try to make some modern controls and you get trolled, you get dismissed and all this stuff. And you even this person even dismissed me. Went up to Evo, probably got washed up by somebody with modern controls, then came back and was like, yo man, modern controls is a real thing. I might want to try it. No, you can't, because the people in this community won't allow you to try it because they say they want something new. And then when you do something new, they say, I don't want it new like that. I want it new like, I want a new, like the it factor. Well, what's the it factor? Oh, it. Well, could you tell me how much it is? Can I weigh it? Can I count it? No. I'll know when you get there. Well, I don't know what I should make. Just make stuff and I'll let you know when I'm happy.
Right.
Come on, King J. Stop it.
Stop it. And this isn't King J specific. This is the mentality.
Yeah, this is the mentality. Yeah, because there was other people under King J, like, saying like, people just don't want to work hard. And it's like, bro, come on now. Like this idea of work hard is, and I like how somebody responded to him saying King J says work hard, and then they showed like 4 of his thumbnails, which is like some of the laziest thumbnails, some of like the laziest, but it's the algorithm thumbnails. Algorithms like seeing faces with weird expressions for reactions for thumbnails. So he's doing the algorithm thing, but he's also doing the lazy thing. I thought you wanted something new. Because everybody's making those thumbnails, King J. Everybody.
it's
Whether
like
you're
I
reacting
said.
to a game, or whether you're reacting to a movie or a TV show, or reacting to a cartoon, everybody's doing those thumbnails. Oh, put your hands on both sides of your cheeks and bug your eyes out. And they have a little picture of the game in the back. Everyone's doing that. Thought you wanted something
And
new.
that's unoriginal. And
People
that's
be
the thing.
lying.
You
People
doing
be
you doing
lying.
your own thing. I'm doing my own thing. We all original, and back referencing the higher ups who watch us, people who are in higher positions. When I say higher up, I'm not talking about YouTube higher ups. I'm talking about people who are in high positions of life who have caught our content and have given us compliment and have actually had conversations with us behind the scenes. Um, these people have let us know how unique we are, and their compliment to us is that you're doing something that nobody else is doing, so keep doing that because that's going to work for you. It was a compliment to boost our confidence and to keep us motivated to let us know, hey, y'all might not be big, but somebody out here noticed you, and you don't have to have a big following. You ain't got to have 50,000 people, but some of the right people are looking at you, and that's okay. Because I'm
Hmm.
okay with having 300 views, but of them 300 people, 100 of them were executives. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, that's
Hmm.
fine. That's fine with me because eventually they may need me for something, and they may consider me, even if I don't match or fit whatever they're trying to do. They'll consider me, and consideration is all you can ask for, right? Even if you don't end up getting a contract or getting doing any type of business with these air quote higher ups individuals, it's still a compliment to yourself that you've worked hard enough up to this point to get their attention because they could be focused on something else and yet they focused on you. So I look
Hmm.
at it as a positive and not a negative that I don't have that many views, but the people who are looking are people who are of prevalence and success and influence or whatever accolades they have. I've caught their attention, and to me that's a quality individual, right? Instead of just a random person who could care less of anything about me. They were just in the rabbit hole. This individual stopped on my video, listened to me, understood me, complimented me, gave me feedback that was all positive and that was encouraging. And this person happens to be successful in life. That's great. That's not bad. That's not a bad thing. And your video don't have that many views, but you had this whole interaction with said individual who happens to have some influence that if the opportunity presents itself one day, they'll consider you. Hey man, why would you be upset with that? How is that a loss? How is that failure? How is that you didn't succeed? Right? Because
Hmm.
success is relevant. Success is relevant. Success is um depending on it's in context. Like if I needed my grass cut and I couldn't afford to pay the groundskeepers or whoever's cuts grass, but I got that lawnmower in the garage and I got a few dollars in my pocket to go run down the street, get some gas, put it up, yank it, crank it, and get it going. The grass is cut. I've succeeded in cutting my grass. Right? That's a success. That's a success. Success
But
is
open
whatever
mind,
you're
you're
trying
only
to do.
successful if you can have your grass cut by the cuttiest of cutters. The,
It's like success is
only
not
if you can
measured
have your
by your
grass
opinion.
cut by landscapers who use platinum lawnmowers with diamond shears to trim your hedges. Like, man.
Listen, success is you setting a goal and reaching the goal. That's what success is. It's very simple. It actually has nothing at all to do with money. It has zero at all to do with paper dollars. But we
That's
have
why value and
attached
money
it to
aren't the
paper
same
dollars.
thing.
We've attached the word success to paper dollars and money and commerce and economy and all things to do with the medium of exchange. But success, in and of itself, the words, the meaning, the definition, and even the explanation has zero to do with money. It can be applied to money, right?
Hmm.
Success is an individual entity. It's an individuality in and of itself. It doesn't have anything to do with money. You can then take success and inject it into your finances and become more successful in this financial endeavor that you set out to do. So I've invested in this land and I got $1,000 in return on dividends, or how many $1,000 you got a return on your investment. That is success. But that's success in that particular endeavor. Success is setting a goal and reaching it. That's what it is. That's all. It's not a long drawn out explanation. It's not a long winded philosophical speech. It's simple. You set a goal, you reach said goal, you've been successful. You've reached success. You set a goal, you reach it or complete it. I'm gonna cut my grass on Sunday, and I ain't gonna let nothing stop me from cutting it, because a lot of things can distract you from reaching said goal. Right? You can be unsuccessful in something that you set out to do because a lot of other things distracted you and prevented you from completing said goal. And you could then say, well, that's just an excuse. You can't let nothing stop you. What if you get into a car accident and you're hospitalized? Not dead, but hospitalized, immobile, and you set goals that you hadn't reached because you got into a car accident. Are you making an excuse because you got tubes up your nose? Is that an excuse, or is that a situation that's prevented you from reaching? That's what I'm saying. Like, we use words, and nobody understands what their words even mean. You're having a conversation with a person, and all y'all are using words, but everybody's using these words in different contexts. Because the word success has nothing to do with paper dollars.
People in the thread were saying that, like, what does work hard mean?
Yeah, like work hard. Who said I'm not working hard?
We need to have a baseline of what working hard means to you, King J.
My thing is, my wife works. I work 2 jobs. We work, right? We got a job that we work that pays us a check, and then we got work that we do that we don't get paid for because it's just work we got to do around the house. Who's not working hard? I can't afford to pay a mechanic sometimes to fix my vehicle, so I'll go pop the hood, get my toolbox out, and turn some wrenches. I'm not a mechanic, right? But I watch a YouTube video, I read a manual, or I call some mechanic friends that I have. I have some mechanic friends who I've been knowing for years. Matter of fact, TJ Storm is a mechanic, right? TJ Storm. So if I need some help on any mechanical failures I have on my vehicle, and I don't have the money to take my vehicle into a mechanic, I'll call TJ Storm on the phone. Hey, bro, this is happening. The vehicle is making this sound. What do I do? How do I do this? And he'll walk me through it, and we'll fix the problem while I'm on the phone with my tools. And I even video chat them and have them on video so we can see. And I'll zoom in with the camera so we can see the problem. You ask, bro, go to AutoZone and get this, and this. I ride to AutoZone and I get those parts. And I come back and call them back and put them back on video call. And I got my wrench, I got all of my tools needed to fix that problem that I can't afford to take to a mechanic. And me and TJ Storm will fix my issue that I'm having under my hood of my car. So I was successful in fixing something that I couldn't afford to fix, but I fixed it myself with the help of someone who knew more about the situation than me. I'm not afraid to do something mechanical. I'm just not an actual mechanic, where TJ is actually a mechanic. Actually. You see what I'm saying?
You don't understand that you're not successful because you should have been able to spend $3,000 to get that fixed.
Right.
And that $3,000 shouldn't have hurt you at all. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You should have been able to drop that. You know what I'm saying? Go on and drop that out there.
So don't tell me about who ain't successful and who ain't working hard, because you can't see people to determine if they're working hard. You can't see. And everything should be, if you're not going to take social media in context, if you're going to take social media at face value, and you're not going to put any context in the things that you see, I can't take you serious. I can't take your opinion seriously. I can't take your philosophy seriously. You see things online and you take them at face value without any research behind outside of what you see on said post. You have no background information. You have no context. You have nothing other than the words you have in your screenshot. And that is what you're going to go by and frame your narrative off of. I cannot take you serious.
So you know what? Let's leave it right there. I think we've exhausted this.
We've exhausted
this. I mean, well, of course, we're gonna have to come down this street probably about once a
again,
year, because there's always
because
some new
Tekken coming.
foolish person that like
Tekken 8 is
it's the
coming.
same. It's the same thing where you have people that came from money, from parents that came from money, and that make good money, and then get online and tell poor people why they're poor, and it's like, well, you don't know.
You don't
It's
know.
actually, it's actually
And
you don't
listen,
understand this
listen.
life, and
Tekken
I
8,
understand that you don't understand. The problem is you don't understand that you don't understand.
Tekken 8 has its own form of modern controls, by the way. That's been confirmed.
Yeah,
It has its own form. Or it's not gonna, of course, it's not Street Fighter 6's modern controls because, of course, it's Tekken. But Tekken 8 is not gonna play like 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3. It's gonna have
and it
some,
shouldn't.
and it shouldn't. But there's gonna be in other words, you're gonna be able to switch from modern controls in classic mid fight, mid combo,
Wow,
mid
that's
combo.
cool.
That's why the heat mode stops time for you. And provided once you're going to go through the tutorial and it's going to teach you, but I already watched these videos, so I'm just kind of relaying it to the public. Once you get the hang of the button scheme, because you're going to press a button that's going to let you switch it to modern and switch it back. When you go into heat mode or when you do a heat crush move, it stops time and freezes for a moment. And that moment is when you're going to decide if you're going to switch or stay in this classic mode. And as the character the screen is temporarily frozen because you connected that move, your character charges up and you continue with the combo. You can just mash one button and the character will finish the whole combo without you doing the sequences, just mashing up the one button. Once the combo ends, you can switch back to classic button. As they do the wall splat or the bounce or whatever the finisher looks like, you can hit the button as the finisher and put yourself back to classic controls in the combo. This is what Tekken 8 is gonna be. So only the cracked beta people have been playing it and the closed beta people, so nobody's complaining yet. But trust me, they're gonna be complaining about modern controls on Tekken 8. Tekken 8 is trash. Tekken 7 was better because Tekken 8 has modern controls, and now every scrub and his mama can do a combo and think he's a god. That's what everybody's gonna say. So it's like that. We're gonna get another round of this with Tekken 8's modern controls. Go ahead.
The issue is Tekken 8 will come out, people will like it. There'll be a handful of pros that don't, and once they say they don't, watch the public perception change. There'll be tons of people that's happy about Tekken, and then 2 or 3 pros will be like, I don't like it. And then when they say they don't like it, then all of a sudden no one's gonna like it. You're gonna be like, hey, hold up, I thought it was all good. We was just having fun just a week ago.
And the reason those pros are gonna say in that moment, I don't like Tekken 8 for blank reason, I'm gonna fill in that blank right now here in the past for the future, because we're gonna revisit this. Right? I'm glad we're recording because we're gonna revisit this conversation in January. I won't say January. Let's give it about till February or March. Give Tekken 8 some time to cook. No, let's not revisit it in January because January 26th, Tekken 8 dropped. Give us some time to cook. So let's revisit this in around March sometime.
Yeah, like March.
Where me saying said pro player hates Tekken 8 because modern controls makes a scrub feels like he's a god, and this said scrub who's going to be a casual player in February or March. Somebody is going to be a casual player. It's going to have a small following, small YouTube channel, maybe 30 subscribers and 10 videos or something of themselves. But they beat the crap out of said pro player using Tekken 8's modern controls. Said pro player is going to make a whole Twitter rant about how Tekken 8 is trash and Tekken 7 was better, and how these gaming companies are just trash and they don't care about the public and they just let anybody play these games now. It's going to be a whole rant. I don't know who's
because Hollywood Rob said it best. Pros don't lose. Pro
players don't lose.
Either it's either the lag, or this person is cheap, or modern controls is messing
Mark my
stuff
words,
up.
people. Mark my words. Timestamp it. Today, date it. It is October, whatever the day is that this video is out. And then when March gets here, remember what Open Mind said about who's gonna complain about the fact that Tekken 8 has modern controls and an air quote scrub thinks he or she is a god because he or she beat a pro player using these modern controls. So now Tekken 8 is trash and Tekken 7 was better. Here it's coming. It's coming. Just
And I
wait.
mean, whenever something makes execution easier, people complain. Like I'm
Right.
in the creative business. And matter of fact,
Hmm.
this will be my last thing, and then I'll get your final thoughts. When Photoshop was coming along, there were a whole bunch of people saying, "Oh, well, this is gonna make anyone's an artist." No, it don't. No, it don't. Even now, as dope as Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, all that stuff is, if you're not creative, you're not creative. Now,
Hmm.
can it help you get your ideas out? Can it help you kind of flesh out your thoughts to maybe give to someone who knows what to do with it? Yes, definitely can. But it's not just his existence isn't going to make everybody Picasso, bruh. Like it's not. But you got that same crying. It's in every industry. There's always whiners like this. But I will throw it to you. Final thoughts, and where can they find you?
Final thoughts on this whole thing. We need to stop being so dismissive and so biased, and let's practice what we preach. King J could have easily retweeted my video and said, "Here's I want to lead by example," because his original rant was there's not enough content, there's not enough people trying hard enough, and everything he said, verbatim. Okay, he could have, but he didn't. Not just my video, but everybody else's. But
Hmm.
since you quoted my words, you could have retweeted my video. So you picked and choose and handpicked what you wanted to do for me, and you dismissed everything else. That's an action that you took. That your words don't mean nothing. Actions speak louder than words. So I don't have to take you seriously going forward. I never followed him. He just showed up on my timeline. So it's not like I'm a follower anyway. And going forward, I'm gonna continue having fun posting my clips, and it's all fun and games for me. My focus and energy is on my fantasy sports channel. Subscribe to the Hyperpix Fantasy Sports channel on TikTok, the Recap Hyperpix. Subscribe to the Recap Fantasy Sports Podcast on YouTube. Open Mind, spell it with a Y on Twitter X. And that's how I feel about it. I'm done with it.
All right. So on my side, there's a perfect response. Someone Jankin Taco. Now I'm gonna go find one of his videos and share it, or her. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering the name, so I apologize. But it said, I made a whole 2D season with storyline, 20 plus characters, Street Fighter 6 fights with breaks in between that teaches FG text, and who is this pro scene. Promoted it with a lot of budget on YouTube, Insta, Twitter, Red, and US, JP or Japan, India, PR, Puerto Rico, DR, Dominican Republic, BR, I'm assuming Brazil, and AL and no one watches it. So yeah, I guess I didn't do my best. So,
It's so.
bruh,
And one more thing before we go. If anybody in that thread caught this video, I want to say this one last thing. I want to thank all of y'all for coming to my defense, even though you may have done it inadvertently or advertently. I appreciate everybody's words and scolding and accountability they threw at him, because they all kind of spoke for me. I'm not on that thread anyway. I ain't make no comments. I appreciate everybody, all that love y'all showed me, even if you wasn't trying to show it to me. You still showed me love, because he needed this. He needed this butt whooping. And him and it's not just him specifically. It's the mentality that he's subscribing to. He's subscribing to a mentality that's very dangerous and very unfair to a lot of people. And I hope that everybody listening can just don't get discouraged. Keep putting out your content. You don't have to be a pro. If we see it, we gonna rock with you. My thing is character, not skill. Your character is what makes me support you. I don't care about how good or bad you are at the game, right? NERDSoul don't even really play Street Fighter like that. But
nah, I
but if
haven't
I
touched
see
the
him
game in
posted,
months.
but or any a lot of games, but you're not a pro, right? You've been scolded about your skill level, but I don't give you no ish about it. If I see you posting a fight clip, I'm sharing it because I support my brother, right? You're not trying to be a pro anyway. You just had some time. You was playing Guilty Gear. You mashing it up with Faust. You posted the clip. I reshared the clip. Simple.
Yeah, because
It's just that simple,
Faust is my guy.
right? And it's a thing about character, right? How do you carry yourself? Are you solid individual? Are you toxic individual? Like it's my you my support. If I'm gonna give it to you, is predicated on your character. How you carry yourself is going to determine whether or not I'm going to support you. It's not nothing to do with your skill or your accomplishments or your accolades. You can be a pro player. You can be a casual player who got 3 jobs and don't have time to even participate in this stuff, and you just play for fun. I'll end up supporting that person before I support the pro player because that's about character. It's not about skill. I just wanted to say that one thing before we end the show.
All right, y'all. So with that said, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, podcast, all that jazz. And until the next time that you get a perfect, until the next time that you get washed up, or until the next time that you're playing Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, and get to the end, and Shredder gets mad, cheap, and cheesy with those little flames on the ground, and you get beat up. This is from us to you saying, peace.